Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. And do not be afraid or be discouraged. For Yahweh, your Elohim, is with you wherever you go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my brothers and sisters, my Myshpacah, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Let There Be Light. My name's Brian, if you're new. On today's episode, we'll be running through the first 5 chapters of the book of Joshua, Yehoshuo. You might notice that there's a bit of a pronunciation change. More on that coming up on a new video soon. Okay. This read will be supplemented out of the Sefer from the book of Yashar. I do believe it's chapters 88, if you have that. So, I hope you're well. I hope this reaches you in shalom. And I hope the Father's with you. I hope the Ruach is guiding you. And may you all receive some gifts. Much love. Through Yehoshuo. Amen. So, the book of Yehoshuo. And it came to be, after the death of Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, that Yahweh spoke to Yehoshuo, son of Nun, the assistant of Moshe, saying, Moshe, my servant, is dead. So now arise, pass over the Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, to the children of Israel. Every place in which the sole of your foot treads, I have given you, as I spoke to Moshe. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all of the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea towards the going down of the sun. All of this is your border. No man is going to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moshe, so I am with you. I do not fail you, nor do I ever forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you are to let this people inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give to them. Only be strong and very courageous, to guard and do according to all the Torah which Moshe, my servant, commanded you. Do not turn from it right or left, so that you act wisely wherever you go. Do not let the book of the Torah depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you guard to do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous and act wisely. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, nor be discouraged. For Yahweh your Elohim is with you wherever you go. And Yehoshuo commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the midst of the camp, and command the people, saying, Prepare food for yourselves, for within 3 days you are going to pass over the Jordan, to go in to possess the land which Yahweh, your Elohim, is giving you to possess. And the officers of the children of Israel did so, and they commanded the people, and they did all that Yehoshuo had commanded. And Yehoshuo spoke to the Reubenites and the Gadites and half the tribe of Manasseh, saying, Remember the word of Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, commanded you, saying, Yahweh your Elohim is giving you rest, and he shall give you this land. Let your wives, your little ones, and your livestock stay in the land which Moshe gave you beyond the Jordan. But you shall pass before your brothers in fives, all your brave fighters, and shall help them, until Yahweh has given your brothers rest, as unto you. So shall they also take possession of the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession, and shall possess that which Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, gave beyond the Jordan, toward the rising of the sun, so the east. And they answered Yehoshuo, saying, All that you have commanded us, we do, and wherever you send us, we go, according to all that we obeyed Moshe, so we obey you. Only let Yahweh your Elohim be with you, as he was with Moshe. Whoever rebels against your mouth and does not obey your words in all that you command him is put to death. Only be strong and courageous. And Yehoshuo, son of Nun, secretly sent out 2 men from Shittim to spy, saying, Go, see the land, and Jericho. And they went and came to the house of a woman, a whore, and her name was Rechav. And they lay down there. But it was reported to the sovereign of Jericho, saying, See, men from the children of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land. And the sovereigns of Jericho sent to Rechav, saying, Bring out the men who have come to you, who have entered your house, for they have come to search out the land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hid them. So she said, The men have come to me, but I did not know where they were from. Then it came to be, as the gate was being shut, when it was dark, that the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, so that you might overtake them. Clever girl. Clever girl. But she had brought them up to the roof and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid out on the roof. And the men pursued them by the way of the Jordan to the fords. And they shut the gate afterwards, as soon as the pursuers had gone out. And before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof. And she said to the men, I know that Yahweh has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away because of you. So, this statement right here, they're no stranger. They know this people, the people of Jericho, the people of the land. They know that there's a wandering, impenetrable army, if you will, wandering about in the wilderness for the last 40 years. Protected. And so to hear that all of a sudden, those guys that were out there, that nobody could take out, well, they're here. It's kind of the emotion. So she recognizes this and wants to get on their good side. At least that's how I'm taking it. If you want to read about some battles, open up the book of Yashar. Just have a fun read, chapters 85 to 88. It's pretty riveting. Anyways, where were we? Okay. For we have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the sea of reeds when you came out of Mitzrayim, and what you did to the two sovereigns of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, Sheol and Og, who you put under the ban. And when we heard, our hearts melted, and there was no spirit left in anyone because of you. For Yahweh, your Elohim, He is Elohim in the heavens above, and on the earth beneath. And now, please swear to me by Yahweh, since I have shown you loving commitment, that you also show loving commitment to my father's house, and shall give me a true token, and shall spare my father, and my mother, and my brothers, and my sister, and all that they have, and shall deliver our lives from death. And the men said to her, Our lives for yours. If you do not expose this matter of ours, then it shall be, when Yahweh has given us the land, that we shall treat you in loving commitment and truth. So she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall, and she dwelt on the wall. So that's a cool little picture. There's, the walled city there, and then there's this little red dangly, they monkey on down it. This is at night, by the way. I do believe. It's like the pursuers just left, and so they strike a deal and they leave. And she said to them, Go to the mountains, lest the pursuers come upon you, and you shall hide there for 3 days, until the pursuers have returned, and afterwards go on your way. And the men said to her, We are released from this oath of yours, which you have made us swear, unless when we come into the land, you bind this line of scarlet cord in the window, through which you let us down, and unless you bring your father and your mother and your brothers and all your father's house to your home. And it shall be that anyone who goes outside the doors of your house onto the street, his blood is on his own head. And we are innocent. And if anyone who is with you in the house, his blood is on our head. If a hand is laid on him. So they're protecting the house, quite literally, and anyone that's in it. That's the safe haven. And if you expose this matter of ours, then we shall be released from your oath which you made us swear. And she said, Let it be according to your words. And she sent them away, and they went. And she bound the scarlet cord in the window. So they left, and came to the mountains, and stayed there 3 days, until the pursuers returned. And the pursuers sought them in all the way, but did not find them. Then the 2 men returned, and came down from the mountain, and passed over. And they came to Yehoshuo, son of Nun, and related to him all that had befallen them. And they said to Yehoshuo, Truly, Yahweh has given all the land into our hands, and also the inhabitants of the land have melted away because of us. It's handy to have the big man on your side. And Yehoshuo rose early in the morning, and they set out from Shittim, and came to the Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and stayed there before they passed over. And it came to be after 3 days that the officers went into the midst of the camp, and they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of Yahweh your Elohim, and the priests and the Levites bearing it, then you shall set out from your place and follow it. Only keep a distance between you, about 200 cubits by measure. Do not come near it, so that you know which way to go, for you have not passed over this way before. And Yehoshuo said to the people, Set yourselves apart for tomorrow. Yahweh is doing wonders in your midst. And Yehoshuo spoke to the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant and pass over before the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And Yahweh said to Yehoshuo, This day I begin to make you great before the eyes of all Israel, so that they know that I am with you, as I was with Moshe. And you command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When you come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, stand in the Jordan. And Yehoshuo said to the children of Israel, Come near and hear the words of Yahweh your Elohim. And Yehoshuo said, By this you shall know that the living El is in your midst, and he is certainly driving out from before you the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Hivites, and the Perizzites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites. See, the ark of the covenant of the master of all the earth is passing over before you into the Jordan. And now take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And it shall be, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of Yahweh, the master of all the earth, come to rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan are to be cut off. And the waters that come down from upstream and stand as a heap. And it came to be, when the people set out from their tents to pass over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as those bearing the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the priests bearing the ark dipped into the edge of the water. Now the Jordan overflows all its banks during all the time of harvest, that the waters which came down from upstream stood still and rose as a heap very far away, at Avam, the city that is beside Tesarthan, and the waters going down into the sea of the Arva, the salt sea, were completely cut off, and the people passing over opposite Jericho. And the priest, bearing the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan. And all Yashar passed over on dry ground, until all the nation had completely passed over the Jordan. And it came to be, when the entire nation had completely passed over the Jordan, that Yahweh spoke to Yehoshuo, saying, "Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, 1 man from every tribe, and command them, saying, Take for yourselves 12 stones from here, out of the midst of the Jordan, from the place where the priest's foot stood firm, and you shall bring them with you, and leave them in the camp in which you spend the night." And Yehoshuo called the 12 men whom he had appointed from the children of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And Yehoshuo said to them, "Pass over before the ark of Yahweh, your Elohim, into the midst of the Jordan, and each one of you take up a stone from his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes, the children of Israel, so that this shall be a sign in your midst when your children ask in time to come, saying, What do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them, that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of Yahweh. When it passed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. And these stones shall be for a remembrance to the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so, as Yehoshuo commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as Yahweh had spoken to Yehoshuo, according to the number of the tribes, the children of Israel, and took them over with them to their camp, and laid them down there. Yehoshuo also set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priest who bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there to this day. And the priest who bore the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until every matter was finished that Yahweh had commanded Yehoshuo to speak to the people according to all that Moshe had commanded Yehoshuo. And the people hastened and passed over. That's quite an image right there. It's almost like a second fulfillment of the Red Sea. If their parents told them the story in the wilderness, remember their parents had to die. And so imagine the stories being told to the children of passing over the Red Sea with Moshe. They get to see it for themselves and reenact it. That's pretty cool. And it came to be, when all the people had completely passed over, that the ark of Yahweh and the priest passed over in the presence of the people. And the sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad and half of the tribe of Manasseh passed over in 5s before the children of Israel, as Moshe had spoken to them. About 40,000 armed ones of the army passed over before Yahweh for battle to the desert plain of Jericho. On that day, Yahweh made Yehoshuo great before the eyes of all Israel, and they feared him, and as they had feared Moshe all the days of his life. Yahweh spoke to Yehoshuo, saying, Command the priests who bear the ark of the witness, and let them come up from the Jordan. And Yehoshuo commanded the priests, saying, Come up from the Jordan. And it came to be, when the priests who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahweh had come up from the midst of the Jordan, and the soles of the priests' feet touched the dry land, that the waters of the Jordan returned to their place, and flowed over all the banks, just as before. And the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first new moon, and they camped at Gilgal, on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Yehoshuo set up in Gilgal. And he said to the children of Israel, saying, When your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What are these stones? Then you shall say to your children now, saying, Israel passed over the Jordan on dry land. For Yahweh your Elohim dried up the waters of the Jordan before you until you passed over, as Yahweh your Elohim did to the sea of reeds, which he dried up before us until we had passed over, so that all the peoples of the earth shall know the hand of Yahweh, that it is strong, so that you shall fear Yahweh your Elohim forever. And it came to be, when all the sovereigns of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan westward, and all the sovereigns of the Canaanites who were by the sea, heard that Yahweh had dried up the waters of the Jordan from before the children of Israel until we had passed over, that their hearts melted, and there was no spirit in them any longer, because of the children of Israel. At that time, Yahweh said to Yehoshuo, Make knives of flint for yourselves, and circumcise the sons of Israel again the second time. So Yehoshuo made knives of flint for himself, and circumcised the sons of Israel at the hill of foreskins. Foreskins? Really? The hill of foreskins? Okay. And this is why Yehoshuo circumcised them. All the people who came out of Mitzrayim, who were males, all the men of battle, had died in the wilderness on the way, after they had come out of Mitzrayim. Remember, they didn't like the report of the land that was spied out by Yehoshuo. So the penalty was, hey, you guys get to wander for 40 years. Your sons and your daughters I will take into the land, but you people with no faith, these 10 times now you've transgressed, and no. So all the kids never got circumcised. For all the people who came out had been circumcised, but all the people who were born in the wilderness on the way, as they came out of Mitzrayim, had not been circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the nation, the men of battle who came out of Mitzrayim, were consumed, because they did not obey the voice of Yahweh, to whom Yahweh swore not to show them the the land which Yahweh had swore to their fathers that he would give us, a land flowing with milk and honey. And Yehoshuo circumcised the sons whom he raised up in their place, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not been circumcised on the way. And it came to be, when they had completed circumcising all the nation, that they stayed in their place, in the camp, till they were healed. Well, of course. And Yahweh said to Yehoshuo, "Today I have rolled away the reproach of Mitzrayim from you." So the name of the place is called Gilgal to this day. And the children of Israel kept the Pesach in Gilgal, in the plains of Yericho, on the 14th day at the month, as it is written in the Torah of Moshe. And they ate of the stored grain of the land on the morrow after the Pesach, unleavened bread, and roasted grain on this same day. That must have been, that must have been amazing. 40 years wandering, eating manna. Now you finally get a plate of food. Amazing. Praise Yah, right? Praise Yah. Okay, where were we? And the manna ceased on that day after they had eaten the stored grain of the land. And the children of Israel no longer had manna, but they ate the food of the land of Canaan that year. And it came to be, when Yehoshuo was by Jericho, that he lifted his eyes and looked and saw a man standing opposite him with his sword drawn. And Yehoshuo went to him and said to him, "Are you for us or for our adversaries?" And he said, "No, for I now have come as captain of the host of Yahweh." And Yehoshuo fell on his face to the earth and did obeisance. And he said to him, "What is my master saying to his servant?" And the captain of the host of Yahweh said to Yehoshuo, "Take your sandal off your feet, for the place where you stand is set apart." And Yehoshuo did so. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my brothers and sisters, that was chapters 1 through 5 of the book of Joshua, Yehoshuo. Hope you enjoyed. Much love, and share it with others. The love. You all are beautiful. This is Let There Be Light. My name's Brian. And lights out.